Great people, incredible people. Thank you. Thank you. In 3 days, we are going to win the great state of Colorado. And we are going to win back the White House. Gonna happen. So important. If you haven't mailed in your ballot, don't do that. Bring it. Bring it. Take it to the drop box in your county. Don't put it in the mail. I know everybody says how honest everything is with our political system, but we all know better. Go in person to your local polling center and drop it in, and make sure you get it dropped in. Otherwise, they'll say, gee whiz, it got there 14 minutes late, and they won't count it. So we're really late enough that hopefully you can bring it, hop in the car, and we'll all appreciate it, because we are going to make America great again. As I've traveled this nation, I've met the most amazing people. Their hopes have become my hopes. Their dreams have become my dreams. I've shared their joy, and I've also seen their heartache. I've seen so much heartache. I've met with grieving mothers who lost their children, families who've lost their hope, and so many people who've lost their faith in the future and the future of our country. Our government has failed our citizens. But we are going to turn it all around and deliver the change and leadership that America deserves. We're going to turn it around. This is a movement like our country has never seen before. It's a movement that's powered by our love for each other and our love for our country. We're living in a very divided country, but it's not going to be divided for long. We're going to get along. We're all going to get along. The special interests who are used to getting their way have been trying everything possible to stop us. You know that. And the media are among the most dishonest people anywhere at any time. But they can't stop us, because we're on this side, and it's the great side of the American people. That's what it is. Real change begins with immediately repealing and replacing Obamacare. It's just been announced that the residents of Colorado, where, by the way, we're doing extremely well, you do know. Extremely well. They're getting a little worried. I know Hillary, all of a sudden, she's making all of these trips. She's going all over the place. She was supposed to be home sleeping. This is not good for her. She's going to North Carolina, they're worried. I think she's coming back here. I know she's going to Michigan. She's going to Michigan. See, Michigan was never really in play for a Republican, but you know what? It's in play for us because all of their cars are being made now in Mexico. The cars are being made in Mexico. It's in play now. I think her going to Michigan's not going to help us because she was there while Mexico and other countries took the businesses right out of their midst. Ripped the jobs right out of them. No, no, no. I think she's wasting her time. I think rather than going to Michigan, she ought to go home and relax. That's what I think. Well, here's the bad news. The residents of Colorado are going to experience one of the most massive double-digit premium hikes you've ever seen in your life for Obamacare. But it's not going to matter because we're going to terminate it anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it. We'll get rid of it fast. It's falling of its own weight. In the great state, as an example, of Arizona, where we're doing wonderfully also, premiums are going up more than 116%. Great people, very unfair. 90% of the counties in Colorado are losing Obamacare insurers next year. 90%. Good luck with your negotiation, folks. But again, you're not going to have to worry about it. Get those ballots in. Get them in. Get them in. Premiums are surging. Companies are leaving. Insurers are fleeing. Doctors are quitting. And deductibles are going through the roof. Some are $15,000, $16,000 deductible. In other words, you don't even have health care. Yet Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive. She's also raising your taxes very substantially, folks. Big, big tax increase. I'm asking for your vote so we can repeal and replace Obamacare and save health care for every family in Colorado and in our country. Real change means restoring honesty to our government. We'll start by getting Clinton out of the way. Gotta start. Gotta start someplace. There's little doubt that FBI Director Comey and the great special agents of the FBI will be able to collect more than enough evidence to garner indictments against Hillary Clinton and her inner circle, despite her efforts to disparage and discredit the FBI. If she were to win, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. It'd be unprecedented. There'd be nothing like it. It would be a disaster from day one. It would be a disaster. Look at the way she's handled the email mess. All she had to do is use the server they gave her. Assume everybody was watching. Assume that the world was watching. Look what the hell she's done. This is the way she'll run the country. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under a felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial. We need a government that can work properly from day one for the American people. We are so far behind. We are so far behind. So many things to do. That will be impossible with crooked Hillary Clinton, the prime suspect in a far-reaching criminal investigation. It's impossible. Her current scandals and controversies will continue throughout her presidency, and we will make it, honestly, look, it's going to be virtually impossible for her to govern. Now, the Republicans have talked very tough, and the Democrats. It's going to be just another mess for another 4 years, folks. A mess. We've got to get back to work, right? I mean, we have to get back to work. Get this country straightened out. Hey, we do owe $20 trillion, you know, it's like we got to start someplace. If she ever got into the Oval Office, Hillary and her special interests would rob this country blind, believe me. At the heart of this election is a simple question. Will our country be governed by the people or by the corrupt political class? If we win, the corrupt politicians and their special interests lose. If they win, the American people lose. It's just that simple. And I must tell you, folks, it's not that this is easy. Don't forget. Now, let's see, New York time. This is now 1 o'clock in the morning. This is like, what, my fourth or fifth or what? It's 1 in the morning. But I love doing it because I see we're coming 3 days. So many great things. Look, I was on the other side. I love this country. I saw what was happening. I was a total insider. Boy, did I become an outsider quickly, right? June 16th. We have a certain senator, I've never told this story. Never told this story. We have a certain senator. He would be so nice to me for years. Don, how are you? This is Senator so-and-so. I'd love to see you and talk to you. And so I'd see him and come up. I'm always giving tremendous amounts of money to the senator for some committee to re-elect senators and blah, blah, blah. We have, and we're going to this, and we're going to... I said, do me a favor, Senator. Do me a favor. I'm really busy. Just... How much? Well, if you could contribute X, it was always like, a lot of money, the same. I didn't want to waste a lot of time because they'd talk forever. So this guy was always very nice, and every year, for years, I'd give him a lot of money for his committee, and that was it. Okay, I didn't care. Then I announced on June 16th of last year, Donald Trump running for president. This senator, it was called Trump who? I don't know him. I don't know him. No. I went from a great insider, and it was very nice. I mean, I liked it. It's great. I was building this big company. I built a truly great company. But I went from really some of the great assets of the world, some of the great real estate assets of the world. That's all right. Very little debt, tremendous company. And I'm proud of it, and I love doing it. But I would see what's going on. I watch these politicians give $150 billion back to Iran. #1 terrorist state. I watched our military more and more, the depletion of our military. We have the greatest people, but our military is depleted. I watch all the things I watch our veterans being treated so badly. Any veterans in here? I mean, we're treating illegal immigrants, people that come into our country illegally, we're treating them far better in many cases than we treat our veterans. I watched all the things that are going on. I watched $400 million in cash, supposedly, go to Iran. Cash. That means you could fill this whole section of this arena with this stuff, except it wasn't $400 million. And that was to pay for the hostages, except Obama lied, just like he lied about Obamacare. You can keep your plan, you keep your doctor. But he said it wasn't for the hostages. But it was $400 million. I said, man, 400. Did you ever see $1 million in cash? It's like massive. $400 million in cash, except it wasn't 400. It turned out to be 1.7 billion. Airplane full. The airplanes. I mean, think of it, 400, but it wasn't. It was 1.7 billion. Anyway, I look at the way things run. It's so sad. And some things happened after Iran, but it's all the same. The incompetence, the gross incompetence. I look at the 10 sailors. They're off course a little bit. We had just made a deal. The way they humiliated those sailors and humiliated our country. So many things. So many things. And I said, I love our country. So I went from an insider to the ultimate outsider, and I must tell you, I love it. And it's all about making America great again, making our country great again. If you want a government that will secure your borders, stop the massive inflow of refugees, lower your taxes, bring back your jobs, grow your economy, and protect your family, I think you have to vote for Donald J. Trump. I do believe. I was watching tonight coming over in the plane, Lou Dobbs. I got to tell you, what a fantastic guy. Fantastic. He gets it. He gets it. And he said such nice, he said, Donald Trump started early in the morning. He was in Florida. He was here. He went to North Carolina. He's been all over the country. Said, he's got more energy. But you got to have energy. To fix our country, you need energy. Do you ever see the energy? Hey, you want to see energy? Take a look at the energy of the Chinese leaders, okay? You want to see energy? Take a look at the energy of all of these leaders of countries that are just beating us. Just beating us. He also said, I'm one of the great political speakers of all time. I said, what a nice thing. Nobody says that. Nobody says that. These guys have never said that, the dishonest media. No, Lou Dobbs is just a great guy. I have to say it, because I've watched him for a long time, and I've been a fan. And you know what? You have to reward people that are just good. They're good. They have no axe to grind. You know what his axe to grind is? He wants to see the country be great. That's what his axe is. So that's enough. That's enough. But he's a great guy. My contract with the American voter begins with a plan to end government corruption and to take our country back from special interests and donors. I want the entire corrupt Washington establishment to hear the words that we, not me, we are about to say. When we win on November 8th, we are going to drain the swamp. Crazy. When I heard that statement, I said, no, I don't like that. I don't like it. It's so hokey. I told you once, I said, look, 2.5 weeks ago probably, I said it once to a big audience, and I said, it's so hokey. Ugh. I said, drain the swamp. They went crazy. Then the second time, they went crazier. Then I started feeling a little more confident in using that. They were going, well, now they're all going crazy. And now I love the statement. I think it's genius. Thank you very much. At the core of my contract is my plan to bring back our jobs. Terrible what's happened. It is so terrible what's happened. America has lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA, a deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported by Hillary Clinton. America has lost 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization. Another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster. We're living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. Leggett and Platt, your neighbors, laid off 326 workers in Thornton and moved their jobs to China. Optima Batteries laid off 276 workers in Aurora and moved their jobs to China. Care Fusion Resources laid off 159 workers, this is all recent, in Inglewood and moved their jobs to Mexico. We're like a one-lane highway out of the country. The cash goes out, the jobs go out, the factories go out, plants go out. We get drugs and we get unemployment. That's what we get. Because our politicians are stupid people. They're stupid people. They're stupid people. A Trump administration will stop the jobs from leaving America, and we will stop the jobs from leaving Colorado. You're losing a lot. The theft of American prosperity will end. A Trump administration will renegotiate NAFTA, and if we don't get the deal we want, we will terminate NAFTA and get a much better deal for our workers. One of the great disasters of all time, NAFTA. We will also immediately stop the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership that Hillary Clinton said is the gold standard, and then she lied in the debate, right? And she said she never said it, but turned out she said it. And it is the gold standard for the countries that are opposed to us. It's a gold standard. It's a gold standard for them, not for us. As part of our plan to bring back jobs, we are going to lower taxes on American business from 35% to 15%. And very importantly for Colorado, we will unleash the power of American energy, including shale energy and clean coal right here in your state. And we're going to put your miners back to work, and we're going to put your steel workers back to work. And we will rebuild our inner cities. We will rebuild our inner cities. The African American community, the Latino communities are hurt very badly. They're hurt very badly. It's been very unfair. For almost 100 years, unbroken, Democrats have ruled the inner cities. And they just do one thing. Every 4 years they come, they say, please, please give us your vote. We'll help you. You give them the vote, and they say, see you in 4 years. They don't do a thing. They're dangerous, the education stinks, and there's no jobs. And it's at a point probably as bad as it's ever been. As bad as it's ever been. So I say to you, and I mean this sincerely, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? To the African American community, to the Latino Hispanic community, what do you have to lose? And by the way, the votes are coming in all over the place. And we are doing very well with the African American community. And we are doing very well with the Hispanic community. We are doing very well. Everyone's saying, what's going on? Because they get it, they're smart. They get it. They get it. They're tired of being ripped off. They get it. So we're doing very well. You saw that votes are way, way down. There's no enthusiasm from Hillary. Why would anybody be enthused? Enthused? Now, we do have enthusiasm. We have record-breaking enthusiasm, according to the polls. We have record. Record-breaking. We have enthusiasm like probably they've never seen before. Sort of interesting when these great states were coming in, so many successes. Today I was watching one, and we're doing very well in New Hampshire. And it was passed on to this anchor, and they passed it on about Trump. Hand her some. Oh. This is the response. Oh, he's doing very well in New Hampshire. Let me tell you, these people are rigged. They're part of the rigged system. The media is almost the biggest part of the rigged system. We will become a rich nation again. But to be a rich nation, we must also be a safe nation. Hillary Clinton wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees pouring into our country. Her plan will import generations of terrorism, extremism, and radicalism into your schools and throughout your communities. When I'm elected president, first of all, I'm representing you people. I'm here to represent you. We will suspend the Syrian refugee program, and we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. The Trump administration will also secure and defend the borders of the United States. And yes, we will build a great wall right there for that guy. And Mexico, as you know, which is making a tremendous fortune on trade with our country, on the border, on trade, on everything. Every country does. By the way, every country does. Who doesn't? If you can't make money with the United States, you shouldn't be representing your country. Everybody does. But Mexico, we have a tremendous trade deficit with Mexico. I met with the president 3 months ago. Terrific guy. We're gonna have a great relationship with China, with Mexico, with Japan, with everybody. But folks, it's got to be a double street. It's got to be a two-way street. Right now, it's just everything goes to other countries. We get nothing. Anytime. Take a look at Japan. Japan sends us cars by the hundreds of thousands. We send them practically nothing. You call that trade imbalance. Goes on for years. Nobody does anything about it. We send them wheat. It's wonderful to send wheat. But they send us cars by the hundreds of thousands. So many different things. So many different things that we can fix so easy. You know, we have the greatest business people in the world. I have so many people endorsing me. Carl Icahn, great. These are great, natural negotiators. We don't use them. We use political hacks to make deals with China. And then we lose almost $500 billion a year with China. And we want to know what's wrong with us. What's wrong? What's wrong with us is we have people that don't know what they're doing, making deals with some of the smartest people in the world. They use their smartest, toughest, meanest people. We use dumb people. We use hacks. I've done a lot of business with China. I think China's great. I've done great. I've made a lot of money with China. I have their bank, the biggest bank in the world from China is my tenant. I sell condos. I have the Bank of America building in San Francisco, another big building in Manhattan that I got through China. I mean, China's great. But I don't hold it against China. I hold it against the stupidity of our leadership to allow China to get away with this. And then on top of it all, to show the lack of respect they have for our country, they go into the South China Sea, and they're building one of the great fortresses of the world for landing airplanes, for docking their ships, their military ships. And yet they're making a fortune with us. They take our money, they take our jobs. Think of this, they take our money, they take our jobs, and we owe them $1.6 trillion. It's like, how does that happen? It's magic. You know what you call that? Magic. For them, not for us. As Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton allowed thousands of the most dangerous and violent criminal aliens to go free because their home countries would not take them back because they were smart. They don't want killers back. They don't want drug lords back. They don't want gang members back. They said, get them the hell out of here. We're not taking them back. So we turn around the plane or whatever the hell we bring them in. They call up the State Department. Hillary Clinton says, oh, we don't want to make waves. Let me tell you, folks, there won't be one time when we're bringing somebody back that we come back with that person sitting in that airplane. I can tell you. There won't be one time. And these various countries will understand that, but nobody's told them that, so they just don't understand it, but they will. And we'll have a good relationship with them. Hillary supports totally open borders. There goes our country. And by the way, we will build that wall. Just keep shouting. This young patriot keeps shouting, build the wall, build the wall. But finally I said, okay, we're going to build the wall. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%. 100%. By the way, and the reason some of the politicians during the debates, you know, we had 17, now I have one left. One left. One left before we make this country great again. One left. Crooked Hillary. One left. We have 3 days left now. I guess it's sort of like 2 days, 2.5 days. But we're gonna do it. It's gonna be so great. You're gonna be so proud of your country again, I'm telling you. You're gonna be so proud. Look at the spirit in this room. And you know what? I don't need Beyonce and I don't need Jay-Z. I like them. They're very good. I don't need J-Lo, and I don't need John Bon Jovi, nice guy. They're all nice. They're all nice. But I don't need them. We have far more people than her. You heard what happened last night with Beyonce and with Jay-Z. First of all, she said about me, his language is lewd. It's lewd. His language. My language is nothing compared to what Jay-Z was doing last night and Beyonce. Nothing. Yeah. My language is like baby talk. Listen, what Jay-Z said last night, that's a different category. And then Beyonce, what she said. And then Hillary walks on and kisses and hugs and kisses and hugs. It's okay. How come I'm lewd? I'm lewd. But they're fine, you know. Now, here's what happened last night. Let me tell you the facts. Hillary cannot draw people. She's a very uninspiring person. This country needs somebody that's going to inspire. This country, aside from many things else, we need a cheerleader to bring people together, right? She's not a cheerleader. But here's what happened, and the crooked media doesn't tell you this. So she can't draw people. They won't show this crowd. They're not going to show. They'll see a couple of heads up here. They'll see your nice, beautiful white head of beautiful hair. They'll see these folks here. As few, oh, Trump digs coal. That's true. I do dig coal. But they'll see these folks. But I'll tell you what happened. So they do the concert. They didn't even have a big group for Beyonce and for Jay-Z. It wasn't big. Nothing like what I had in Hershey, Pennsylvania, or what we have. Look at every arena is packed. You know, we have thousands of people outside. But here's the thing, and I don't have a guitar, and I don't have a piano. But what happens is they start the concert. The language was filthy. It was filthy. By any standard of anybody in this room. And people started to leave. And then when the concert was almost over, a lot of people had left. And then when they were finished, everybody left, and she stood up and talked, and there was nobody there, practically. True. Because nobody's going to see her. But the dishonest media doesn't say that. I saw it. She has a wonderful crowd. Not a wonderful crowd. They're there because Beyonce is there. They're there because J-Lo and because John Bon Jovi. I mean, give me a break, folks. And you know, there's something, and somebody said it tonight, that's a very smart political person that I respect. When you have to have all of these different people to get involved politically, they don't care. They really don't care. They used the word that was interesting. It's demeaning to the political process. It really is. Think of it. It's demeaning to the political process. So they fill it up, but they didn't even fill it up. But they bring a lot of people. They do the concert. A lot of people were offended by how bad the language was. And a lot of people left. But by the time Hillary got on, most of the people had left. And the press doesn't write that. They don't write that. So they give you a false impression of what's going on. With us, people are here. People love what we're saying. People love what we're saying. So Hillary supports totally sanctuary cities like San Francisco, where Kate Steinle was murdered by an illegal immigrant who was deported at least 5 times. Thousands of Americans would be alive today if not for the open border policies of Obama and Clinton. Here in Colorado, Detective Donnie Young, you know the story, and Detective John Bishop were providing security at a baptism when they were ambushed by an illegal immigrant who had multiple prior run-ins with law enforcement and who the people that knew him begged for his incarceration. The illegal immigrant shot and killed Detective Young and badly wounded Detective Bishop. The perpetrator was a gang member and should have never, ever been allowed in our country. By the way, there are hundreds, there are thousands of these stories. Also here in Colorado, Patricia Gunthrop and Deborah Surecki, along with a small toddler, were killed by an illegal immigrant who had been arrested 16 times by 7 different police departments throughout the great state of Colorado. And nothing happened. And people that knew him also said, please, please, he's dangerous, please incarcerate him. But our State Department and the people involved didn't want to get involved in that. So people lie dead. A Trump administration will end this nightmare of violence and end it quickly. We will stop illegal immigration, deport all criminal aliens, and dismantle every last criminal gang and cartel threatening our great citizens. And I have to tell you, you see the numbers coming in, and we're getting great poll numbers with the Latinos. Great. And we're getting great poll numbers. People are surprised because we have so many people. They're here legally. They have a great job. They have a great house. They want to keep their job. They want to keep their house. And they love what I'm saying. They agree with me. The Cuban Americans, they just gave me the big award, the Bay of Pig Award. And it was a big thing in Miami 2 days ago from the Cuban Americans because of what I've done and because of my attitude toward Castro, et cetera, et cetera. But we're doing very well, and people are surprised, but they shouldn't be surprised. A radio owner in New York who has an all-Spanish radio station, call in. He said, I don't know, everyone talks about Trump, but all of my callers love him. And they're all Hispanic. They're all Latino. And I just want to tell you, I do talk about building a wall because we have to keep the drugs out from poisoning our children. But, I always also, or I like to at least add, because I do so much ad-libbing as opposed to everybody else, but I do like to mention, whenever possible, that in that wall we're going to have big, beautiful doors. And people are going to come pouring through those doors into our country, but they're going to come in legally. They're going to come in legally. So I just want you to understand that. We will also repeal the Obama-Clinton defense sequester and rebuild our badly depleted military. We have to do it. The greatest people, but we're not doing it. We're hurting them. That means more resources and investment in Air Force Space Command at Peterson Air Force Base, Buckley Air Force Base, and Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Base. A lot more. Big beneficiary. We do love the Air Force around here, don't we? But we don't want our young, great pilots flying in equipment that's so old that they don't even make parts for it anymore. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. I'm honored to have the endorsement of more than 200 top admirals and generals and 22 Medal of Honor recipients. Hillary and our failed establishment have spent $6 trillion on wars in the Middle East that we never win, and now it's in worse shape than ever before. I mean, the Middle East is a disaster. It wasn't like this when they started this whole mess. It's a total disaster. Now you have the Great Migration all over Europe. Ask the folks in Germany how they're doing. Ask the people in France and Paris and all the different places. Ask the people of France how they're doing. Not good, let me tell you. In fact, really, really bad. People don't even want to go there anymore. They've dragged us into foreign wars that have made us less safe, shipped our jobs and wealth to other countries, and left our borders wide open at home. Isn't that amazing? We fight for other countries that half the people in this room have never even heard of. Tremendous money, more importantly, blood. We lose our great people. We fight for these countries to have borders, and yet at home, we don't fight for our own border. That will change on November 8th. A Trump administration will never, ever put the interests of a foreign country before the interests of our country. From now on, it's going to be America first. To all Americans, I say, it's time for change. It's time for leadership. Just think about what we can accomplish in the first 100 days of a Trump administration. We are going to have the biggest tax cut since Ronald Reagan, and Hillary is going to raise your taxes substantially. She wants to raise your taxes very, very substantially. We're going to eliminate every unnecessary job-killing regulation, killing our companies. Cancel every illegal Obama executive order. Protect religious liberty. Wow. Wow. That's very impressive. That's impressive. Religious liberty got bigger hands, bigger applause than a tax cut. That's great. I love that. Rebuild our military and take care of our great veterans, finally. We're going to provide school choice and put an end to Common Core. Bring our education local. We are going to support the great men and women of law enforcement and save our Second Amendment, which is under siege, and appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. It's time to cut our ties with failed politicians of the past. Hillary Clinton is the candidate of yesterday. We are the movement of the future. We are. That's why walk or drive your ballot in. Put it in the box. Please don't put it in the mail. Don't put it in the mail. You put it in the mail, we'll end up losing. We don't want to lose. We're not losers. We are winners, folks. We are winners. And our country's going to be a winner again. Take it down and put it in. We are fighting for every parent who lost their child to drugs and crime and gang violence, so many. We are fighting for every community whose jobs and dreams have been ripped out and shipped to other countries. We are fighting for every American who believes government should serve the people, not the donors and not the special interests. We are fighting to unlock the potential of every community and every family who hopes and prays and yearns for a much better future than they have right now. I'm asking you to dream big, because with your vote, we are just 3 days away from the change you've been waiting for your entire life. You're going to be so happy. We're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win on trade. We're going to get ISIS out. We have no choice. We're going to get them the hell out. We're going to knock them out. It's going to happen a lot faster. It's going to happen a lot faster than people think. Got to get rid of them. But we're going to start winning again as a country. We don't win anymore. We're going to start winning again. And together, we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless you, everybody. Get those ballots in.